Hi, everyone. This is Annalisa with Inside Real Estate, and we are here with Ryan Hartman. And our two guests, I'm super excited to have our e-commission guests today. We have Jonathan, is it Van de Streek? I hope I said that correctly. He is our
That's
VP
good
of
enough?
Operations. Oh, well, if I said it wrong, I apologize. And Don
No.
Willie. Oh, okay. Strategic Business Development for eCommission. So real excited to have him here. I'm going to go ahead and drop the presentership over to Dawn, and it might take just a second for that to get popping, but we will have some great content ready for you here. And we're super excited to have you both. And for those of who
Thank
are
you for the
listening,
introduction.
yep, you're welcome. I'm going to let you go forward, and here we go.
Great. I hope everyone can see my screen. My name is Dawn Willie. I'm the Director of Strategic Business Development for eCommission. And we're here to talk about how eCommission is a better way to manage your cash flow within the real estate vertical. Having a challenge. My partner alongside me is the Vice President of Operations, Jonathan, and he's going to be handling the second half of the presentation here as well. eCommission is the nation's leading provider of working capital for real estate professionals, and we've been around since 1999. Since then, we've advanced over $1 billion to agents, and we have over 50,000 active clients. So if you're asking yourself if I am the only person who's ever considered this, the answer is no. We are the nation's leading provider. And what do? We provide payments of your future commissions before closing. We give you access to those commissions from both pending sales or active listings whenever you need them. So we realize that real estate is cyclical and that there are some funding challenges in order to sustain your relationship within the industry. And so we provide you those funds for your commission on your schedule. Additionally, as I indicated, the cost of waiting for commission is really a challenge for us as 1099 agents in the industry. The irregular closing cycles creates gaps in the cash flow that you need in order to sustain your business. And that creates challenges because many of us leave the real estate industry. We might change brokerages or brands. It might cause us, unfortunately, to pay bills late. And worst case, it also causes us to stop investing in our relationships with other business entities, like relationships for CRM solutions or drone aerial footage or digital photography, things that help us scale and grow our business. So agents need options to be able to gain quick access to working capital, and that's really where eCommission comes in, where we've created a simple way to advance your future commission so it's not complicated or time-consuming. Additionally, we help your business to run smoothly. And so in order to be able to do that, I thought that I would give Jonathan an introduction, and he would go through the process of some of the opportunities in order to do this. But what we do is we create an opportunity for you to pay all of your overhead, continue your education, pay your industry dues, your technology, your advertising, your transportation, scaling and growing your business by adding additional staff or business opportunities. And additionally, our fee is actually tax deductible. So you have the ability to engage and know that at the end of the year that it's a cost of business. Jonathan, did you want to go ahead and start taking over?
Yeah, absolutely. So we offer a couple of different products here. On this particular slide, the two things that we do is a pending sale advance, and we can do that up to 120 days out. To get a little technical, we're a commercial factoring firm, and we're buying an account receivable. So we have to have limitations on the time frame. But to keep it simple, the pending sale, if you got something under contract, both parties have signed, that's the bread and butter of what we do all day, every day. Now, what we've also done is we understand that sometimes they're lean and we don't have that second signature on there, but we do have a deal to sell that property. Well, we can factor that as well, and that's what we call an active listing advance. Both products are quite a bit different. We probably won't get into the details of those today. We may talk a little bit about them in the QA here in a minute, but I just want to let you know we've got two products to service the market and basically address the two major needs that you have out there. Let's go to the next slide. There we go. Okay. So the one thing here is, we've been doing this a long time, and we strive to get better every single day at anything we do. And one of the things I think we've almost mastered is the application process. We get reviews constantly, every day, 5-star reviews on the way that our application flows and how quickly and easily we get from application to funding. So as we see here, we apply online. That application process, on average, right around 5 minutes tops. You receive your agreements online right in front of you. It's a DocuSign process, and they're presented there. They're not emailed to you. You have to go download them and sign them manually. It's a process you see on screen right then and there. And once you complete that, the most amazing thing that we did a few years back is allow you to then automatically send that to the broker right then and there, and the broker pops that up through a link that they get. They can get that link through a text message, which is amazing in this day and age when brokers are on the move. They can sign this just about anywhere, and unfortunately for them, they're probably going to sign some of these on vacation as well. But it also goes through email, so if they're at the office, they can pick this up. Once that broker's signed off, we then move on to transaction confirmation. So the other part of the process is we need to understand the closing entity. That's how we get repaid. What's fantastic about that is that's off the agent in regards to repayment. So when we set it up this way, you as the agent comes to us, you get the money, you do the application, and after that, you can go use that money and spend your time on the business and not worry about the repayment. Is everything set up? We take care of all of that. The transaction confirmation and the third party is going to pay us at closing. So all of that is off your plate. And then funding, right? So when we do fund that thing, and we say on average we like to get everybody funded the same day as they apply. Now, some folks will come in later in the day, and sometimes that is difficult. But in all honesty, there's a lot of people that we fund, especially repeat clients that we know very well, 10, 15, 20 minutes. And then we wire on the hour all day, every day from 9 to 4 p.m. Central Time. And so a lot of times that need is met same day. I think I'm good with that slide. And then, Dawn, do you want to speak to this one?
Sure. So our integration with KV Core as a business partner, we've teamed up with them to be able to provide you instant access to your commissions. Again, as Jonathan mentioned, we can do this with up to 120 days of closing, and you can request, depending upon your commissionable amount, up to $15,000 that can be funded to you within an hour. The integration of the actual component is it directly within KV Core, and you can actually start your application early so that it's ready for you to go, so that once you have a listing that you would like to select to be able to do in advance, it's available to you as well. Most importantly, as I indicated, fees are tax deductible as well. And when you get to the integration partner page directly in KV Core is providing, in our partnership with the advanced code using IRE30, you're going to be able to get a 30% reduction off of the pending advance fee. Most importantly, as well as Jonathan also alluded to, we are highly rated. So we're both Better Business Bureau rated as an A+ company, and we are verified and secured by Verify Security, as well as the fact that we are Trustpilot rated an actual 9.4 out of a possible 10 on Trustpilot. And you'll see in a variety of different attributes where agents like yourself have actually come in to extol the benefits of getting an advance through eCommission very quickly and timely, and to be able to use those funds to scale and grow their business. Jonathan, did you want to talk about this?
Yeah, absolutely. And if you don't mind, Dawn, can you pop back to the previous slide with the pricing? I just want to add one thing before we move
Sure.
to it. Perfect. Thank you very much. So the one big question we always get is, what does this cost me, right? Well, the good thing about commercial factoring is it's a really simple equation. It's how much do you need for how long? And as you can see here, we're very open and transparent on pricing here. We're going to give you the ability that once you go into the application, move the slider around and test pricing and get a feel for what something like this is going to cost you. And so pricing is just, again, it's a function of how much do you need and how long is it going to be out. Obviously, if it's going to be 120 days, that will probably cost you a little bit more than obviously it's going to be out something like 14 days, right? So if you're trying to save money, a lot of times what my repeat clients do is multiple deals over short periods of time to limit their costs, something of that nature. Okay, we can go to the next slide. The next big question that we always get, what happens if the sale cancels? Well, the main thing is, just stay in communication with my team. Again, what we do here is heavily customer service based, especially on my billing side, which is the side that you engage when you figure out maybe the sale's not going to close. The great thing is you discuss that with them. We simply replace it with something else in your pipeline in the event that that deal has fallen through.
And again,
And
what
as,
I was alluding
go
to.
ahead.
Go ahead. What I was alluding
No, go ahead,
to
Dawn.
is that we have quite a few clients who extol the benefits of using our services, 5-star rated in regards to quick, easy, fast. You know, they utilizing services that are beneficial to them, that quickly move the needle and getting them the infusion of capital that they need. Jonathan, did you want to add anything to that?
No, I think we're good. I think we're ready for Q&A.
So guys,
Yeah.
so that was a really good overview. It actually answered a lot of the questions I had. One of the things that's popping, that as I've wrapped my head around eCommission is I started thinking about the different ways I would use it, in my practice. And I think we had a few ideas on the doc, Annalisa, if you want to bring that up. But what are some of the ways that you've seen, the common situations that you've seen agents use it for? Is it just about getting some quick cash to pay the mortgage, or are there other practical, business applications?
Yeah, absolutely. So there's a number of things, but I think the biggest, most powerful use of this is, and this is what we had talked a little bit prior to jumping on this particular call, and I think one of the more powerful uses that we find and we get a lot of feedback on is when somebody's growing their business and they finally hit this plateau that says, I've built enough relationships out there that I'm going to get referrals. I'm going to start to get referrals from friends, family, networking colleagues, things of that nature. And they finally have the confidence to go in me, and they ask me to go sell this bigger, maybe property than I've ever touched before, but they have the confidence in me to do it. But I don't have the funds available to go out and actually list that thing appropriately, right? I can't go back to that individual and say that statement, or my business was essentially starts to die, right? And so we step in and allow that individual to say the confident yes to their referral, and actually take on that bigger, badder listing and grow their business into a potential different market than they've ever touched before. These are the types of things that happen all day, every day. And I think those are the most fun conversations that we have. And also it's where I get the most cards back from, Christmas cards and things of that nature from these guys just saying, thank you so much for being there. I never would have made it over that hump and grown my business to the next level without you guys stepping in during that gap, and especially during that business opportunity that I never would have been able to take advantage of. And a bank wouldn't have stepped in and said, oh, that is a great opportunity. Here's what we're going to do for you, right? We're an entity that is created to allow, an agent to come to us, and we immediately meet that need. And later that day, he can say yes to the opportunity and move on.
So servicing a listing, that's one of the first things I thought of, because we know a lot of times you get stuck. You get a listing and you should be marketing it in a certain way, and maybe there just isn't budget for it. So you guys could step in, give the marketing budget for specific listings or all listings in general. We have something called Property Boost. I don't know if you guys are aware of it, but it kind of does a hybrid, generates buyer leads and services a listing and sends reports to sellers from day to day. So for anybody listening who maybe saw Property Boost and don't have it in your budget from day to day, my opinion is that Property Boost is probably the fastest, most efficient way to build your database and make your sellers happy at the same time. And if you don't have the budget for it right now, something like an eCommission could be a solution.
Yeah, couldn't agree more.
And I know that, and along the lines here, we have an industry and a business where there's a lot of peaks and valleys. So, I remember back when I sold full times, there would be months where I had 5 things pending, and everybody listening has gone through this, and for whatever reason, 2 or 3 of them fall apart last minute, and then you're just really short. You either can't afford the end of the month, or you take money away from your marketing budget. So I could see this being really useful there.
We also find, sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I was going to say, we also find that obviously it's the ability to invest in other products and resources. So yes, utilizing inside real estate opportunities that they might not currently be subscribing to, and maybe in order to facilitate that opportunity, they need an infusion of capital, and we're happy to help in order to help them scale and grow their business to be able to adopt additional technology.
Cool. Have you ever seen, and I know this is a little risky, have you ever seen agents factor or take an advance in order to buy an investment property, or is that just, do you tell them that's too crazy and out there? You know, if you see a really good deal and you're just cash tight this month, but you know you have a good pipeline.
It's honestly not something that really comes across our desk all that often, that particular type of opportunity. It's I mean, more often than not, you know, either it's a business growth situation, or it is that situation that you mentioned where I had 5, I'm down to maybe 2 closings, maybe only one's going to close this month. That's now a variable, but the fixed thing is the mortgage, the car, et cetera, and all my other business expenses. I've got to meet that, or I've got to make decisions, right? And so more often than not, we're helping them not make that decision to step away and basically try something different. They stick it out. We help them out. You know, those listings come back on and they sell 2 months later, and they keep moving, right?
Got it. Does anybody listening have any questions or opinions? What do you guys think of this? Has anybody listening ever used eCommission or a similar service? Feel free to chime in. If you have any other ideas or ways that you've used a service like this, we'd love to hear it. Quiet bunch today. What we find, Dawn and John, in the middle of the summer here, everybody, these couple of weeks, everybody starts zoning out. So, okay, well, not a lot of questions. Annalisa, am I seeing that too? Do you see any questions on your end?
I haven't seen any questions. I think they're in a similar mind space as I am and you now, because we're all worrying with the possibilities like, how could this be leveraged and how could I level up and ramp this up? So that's kind of where my head is at, thinking of all the ways that they could look at investing and growing their business, not only with marketing, but maybe it's, you know, getting that ISA part-time, or getting that move to bring another person in part-time or something. I do see someone raise their hand. We can't unmute you, so if you could type in your question, that would be super helpful.
Yep. And I think a big part of this too, we were talking before the webinar, this is something where if I knew it existed, you know, at times in my practice personally, I would have loved to have been able to leverage it. So I think a lot of people watching this now, even if you don't have a need, it's a very good tool to just put in the back of your head and know that it's there when you need it. Good question from Lori.
I do see a question. Oh, you got it. Go for it. You got it.
Yeah, so Lori's asking how many advances can be out at one time, Jonathan and Dawn?
Yeah, so there's really no limit on how many advances can be out at one time. What we actually do is we usually have a total monetary limit on any individual's account, just depending on their individual production. But more often than not, we can keep it simple for this discussion at this time. On any one deal, I won't take out more than $15,000 total on any particular deal. And more often than not, most accounts are up to $30,000 out at any one time as well. And there's certainly lower restrictions on that for individuals that might have lower production. But those are kind of the basic marks to start out on.
Is credit a factor? You guys do a credit check and all that, or is it?
We do not do a credit check in any way, shape, or form. Again, we've been doing this a long time. We've been doing it 20 years. I'll be open and honest that about 10 years ago, we used to do credit checks. We were somewhat under the impression that that was a valid way to go about underwriting these things. And what we found was it wasn't a really good indicator of repayment. What we really needed to base everything on was production. And so we base it on production of the agent, usually over the last 12 and 24 months.
Awesome.
And so again, that's one of the ways that we keep this thing so simple and so quick, is that we've learned from past, I won't call them mistakes. It's, at the time it seemed like that's what we needed to do, but we learned from it. But these days it's production drives everything.
Great. And Annalisa's pulling up the screen. Steve's asking where do we go to apply, and that's a really good point. The eCommission tab can be found in the marketplace, probably about 2/3 of the way down the page, I think. Annalisa. And then when you click that, you'll notice the promo code is there as well, I think, when you click on Get eCommission there.
So to access this, just pop into your marketplace on the left-hand side of your dashboard and click on the eCommission tile. And then when you click on Get This, it'll open up the more information and the code. So that's awesome. And Lori's saying EXP may have a limit of only one advance at a time. So Lori, I can't speak to EXP and what they may or may not have set up. However, I can ask that our success coach talk with EXP to see if we can get some information to you.
Yeah.
I think I can.
Yeah, go ahead, Jonathan.
I can probably. Yeah, no, I can probably speak to a couple of things there because I do know EXP very well.
Oh, cool.
So, yeah, individual relationships that we have, and the brokerage can come up with their own rules that they lay over the top of ours. And in this particular case, EXP has some of those. Many other alliance members do as well. And so EXP, I believe, and I was going to go back and try to clarify a couple of things. So a pending sale advance where you have contracts with both signatures on there, you can do as many of those as long as you're under your limits, right? So list pending sale advances, but listing advances, you can only have one out at any one time. Now, EXP and some of the other folks have come in and said, okay, if you have a listing advance out, you can't have anything else out until that converts to a pending sale, something of that nature. So the brokerages themselves, again, the reason we get the brokerage to sign off on it is the brokerage legally is the one that can assign these commissions. So their rules are going to be above mine, right? They actually determine exactly what we can and can't do with their particular agents. And then we just play within their rules, to help the agent as much as we can. So yeah, EXP definitely has their own individual rules on how their agents can play.
Cool. So I think we're looking pretty good here. We don't necessarily need to stay a very long time if nobody has any other questions. Was there anything else, Jonathan and Dawn, that you need to add that maybe we haven't brought up yet?
No, we greatly appreciate the partnership with Inside Real Estate and KV Core. We look forward to servicing every agent that comes across, and Jonathan's team is amazing. So we look forward to working with all of you and to be able to assist you in scaling and growing your business, and also to help with some of the cyclical natures of our industry that might prevent you from, abating some of the agent attrition that we might see.
And I think I'll add one more thing if I could. If we could add to this document, if anybody does have any questions after the fact here, the agent@ecommission.com is what my customer service team responds to. And those folks will absolutely get taken care of if you have any questions. And if you have a question for me directly, I'm the only Jonathan Vanderstreet pretty much in the world. So they'll hunt me down and let me know, and I'll respond directly.
It's awesome. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I haven't seen, yeah, this has been great. I'm still reeling with all of the ideas on what people could do to level up with their businesses. This is incredible. So I guess we'll go ahead and wrap. Everyone, we did record this. It will be put into the discussion groups as well as on insiderealestate.com/replays. And we're up into the core learning portal, which you can access at the bottom left-hand side of your dashboard. If you go into the learning portal and look for the webinar tab, or just hand search webinar here for a keyword search on the upper right, you'll find all of the KV Core webinars right here, as well as the Conversion Plus. I see people happen to be in here from Conversion Plus as well today. I hope you all have a great day, and thanks again for eCommissions to be here. Thanks so much, Jonathan and Dawn. Bye-bye.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.